All right, folks, before we get rolling with this video, I just wanted to take a minute and let everyone know about some things we got going on here in Tennessee. Our Governor, Bill Lee, has called for a special session to start Monday, January 27th, and they're going to be talking about immigration. They're going to be talking about Bill Lee's voucher program and also hurricane relief for the victims of the hurricanes that hit us late last year. Also, there are people calling for the session to address gun violence. We had another senseless shooting here in Antioch, and so we're hoping that that subject gets discussed as well. But y'all remember how it went the last time that we tried to talk about gun violence. We ended up seeing Justin Jones and Justin Pearson expelled, which actually just launched them into stardom, and they became known as the Tennessee Three. But we're hoping to have that conversation again and talk about some other things. And there is also going to be a rally for Antioch that's going to be taking place this Monday. It will take place Monday, January 27th at 1:30 p.m. That's Central Time in Nashville. It'll happen on the Capitol steps. We got to end gun violence now, folks. So I'm going to be there at that, and I'm looking forward to talking with people. And I just feel more motivated than ever to actually get out and travel and do more things. More motivated than ever to put the work in. So I'm going to be attending the special session, which is something I've never done. I've been to plenty of rallies and protests, but I've never been to a special session. So I'll let y'all know how it goes, and hopefully we'll get to talk to some cool people while we're there, and just keep trying to push the conversation forward. I'm looking forward to that. But what I'm not looking forward to is reading this next article to you, because I have a feeling this is going to be a preview of what we're in for the next 4 years at least. And folks, this is the very reason why that I've been against this thing, is for stories like this. So I'm going to read this one to you from MidasNews.com. Before I do that, I just want to remind you, if you haven't already, be sure and hit the like and subscribe button. Get in on the conversation if you want to, and leave a comment. If not, leave a blue heart. That just helps to boost the videos and the algorithm. So this story here is from MidasNews.com, Midas Touch Network. This is from Troy Matthews. ICE raid in New Jersey sweeps up U.S. citizens along with undocumented immigrants. A U.S. military veteran was reportedly among those detained. I was so afraid that this is the very kind of thing we would see when this all started. Agents from Immigration and Custom Enforcement, ICE, raided a work site in Newark, New Jersey on Thursday and detained several U.S. citizens, including a U.S. military victim. ICE will not provide exact details of the raid, citing an ongoing investigation. According to the statement, on the raids, agents may encounter U.S. citizens while conducting field work and may request identification to establish an individual's identity, as was the case during a targeted enforcement operation at the work site today. In other words, in Donald Trump's America, individuals must be ready at all times to show their papers to avoid being caught up in deportation sweeps to detention centers, where they will be forced to wait to see an immigration judge to prove their status. The veteran was reportedly forced to prove his military service to avoid detention. Today, U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement agents raided a local establishment in Newark, New Jersey, detaining undocumented residents as well as citizens without producing a warrant, Newark Mayor Ross Baraka said in a statement. Newark will not stand by idly while people are being unlawfully terrorized. One of the detainees is a U.S. military veteran who suffered the indignity of having the legitimacy of his military documentation questioned. Folks, this is absolute horseshit. It truly is. But according to the White House press secretary, in a post on X Thursday, all 538 individuals arrested were illegal immigrant citizens. New Jersey Senators Cory Booker and Andy Kim released a joint statement Thursday condemning the raid. Booker and Kim wrote, "We are deeply concerned about the news of an ICE raid in Newark today. Our offices have reached out to the Department of Homeland Security to demand answers. Actions like this one saw fear in all of our communities, and our broken immigration system requires solutions, not fear tactics." The senators continued. "We will continue to work with Mayor Baraka and other local officials to gather more information to ensure all New Jerseyans, I guess they say that, are safe and their dignity and rights are protected. Among Trump's executive orders signed on Monday were sweeping immigration reforms that include included militarizing the southern border and allowing ICE agents to enter churches and schools to round up suspected undocumented immigrants. Teachers on TikTok and several other social media apps are reporting that they have received instruction from district officials to not permit ICE to enter classrooms in compliance with the Plyer versus Doe SCOTUS decision from 1982, which states that public schools may not deny classroom instruction to anyone based on immigration status. Teachers will comply with ICE identifying which students will not comply with ICE in identifying which students may be undocumented. Donald Trump has also terminated both asylum programs and refugee settlement in the United States, marooning thousands who were fleeing to the United States from war-torn nations and gang violence. And again, that was from Troy Matthews from the Midas Touch Network. Now, just think about what we're sitting here talking about, folks. We're going to have so many people now that are going to be afraid to go to work, so many people now who could be detained and held in a situation like that and have to prove their citizenship. And the fact that a military veteran was amongst those people that were swept up and detained is just truly disgraceful. But from what I'm hearing, and I've read different numbers, so I don't really want to shout any numbers out because every article that I've read's had a lot of different numbers, but there are a whole lot of workers who aren't showing up now for fear of being deported. And so I just wonder what's going to happen when that continues to happen. We know what's going to happen. The groceries are going to skyrocket. The prices are going to go up because let's just be real here for a minute. They're doing all the jobs that the people here in America don't want to do. I live in a part of the world where there's a lot of tobacco fields. You cannot get young white boys to go do it. They want no part of it. I don't want no part of it. Didn't want no part of it when I was young. I tried it one day. I was like, man, this sucks. And so it's not jobs that anyone in my part of the world wants to do, but they love to sit back and say that people are coming to this country and stealing my job. They're coming over here and taking my job. And it's jobs that they themselves wouldn't touch. It's jobs that they themselves would go nowhere near. And they sit back and complain about nothing being around here. Well, everything got sold out from under us. Everything in my part of the world got sold out from under us. Every promise that we were ever gave growing up disappeared. There is no opportunities where I'm sitting. There really isn't. And it's truly sad. Back when I was growing up, we was told there was an industrial park coming to my part of the world, and they said this would provide thousands of jobs, and we'd all have a place to work when we got out of school. And they go over there and they build this really nice bridge, and they start the road, and they go up into the mountains, and it's up at the top is going to be this big, giant industrial park where there's going to be so many opportunities for all of us. Well, guess what happened? They pulled out, they stopped, and the road just stopped. They quit building it, and that bridge got dubbed the Bridge to Nowhere. And I've told that story before here on the channel, and I've had other people reach out and say, yeah, we've got a Bridge to Nowhere in our town too. And then the only thing left for people around here to do was coal, which nobody, if they would be telling the truth, nobody wants to do that in this part of the world. Although they will go around saying that they're all for coal and they're friends of coal, but none of them actually wants to dig it themselves, and none of them wants to do the jobs that the immigrants are doing. And if they had to do it for the wages that the immigrants are doing it for, you'd really hear them bitch and complain. So right now, there's probably a whole lot of them who are flexing and going, see there, Trump wasn't screwing around, and they don't realize what's fixing to hit them right square in the face. They don't realize the reality of what's really starting to happen. And now, not just immigrants who are here, but everyday citizens are going to have to walk around in fear that somebody's going to bust in and go, hey, you don't look like you're from around here. And this is what we're in for. We're in for a long haul, folks. It's happening at rapid speed. We're seeing Trump 2.0 is what we're seeing. I have people every day say to me, Brando, how did we get here? How did this happen? We're going to be asking that question for a long time, but we can't sit around and ask that question. What we got to do is get busy putting the work in, and that's what I intend to do. I want to get more involved in state politics, and I want to reach out to people. Talk to them, talk to lawmakers in my part of the world about how we can make things better here in Tennessee. Because I think for people, they're going to have to understand it has to hit them, it has to hurt them before they start to care or give a damn. And so I think if we can show them just how dangerous a lot of these policies are versus that our policies are the better ideas, I think we can start to to make some progress. I did an episode with Gloria Johnson here on the channel. You can find it in my live videos. She and I talked for over an hour about what we can do here in Tennessee and all over the country for that matter to help get our message out there to more people so they understand that we're the ones with the popular ideas, and everything that is about to come unraveled on everyone. When they say, how did this happen? We're going to have to remind them, well, either A, you voted for this, or B, you stayed home and thought it didn't matter because you thought both sides was the same. And I will die on this hill. Both sides are not the same in no way, shape, form, or fashion. There's no way you can compare the two. When we have one side that does nothing but just peddle conspiracy theories, when we have one side that does nothing but cause more and more division, and when you've got people defending a certain style of salute as just an awkward hand gesture and even trying to blame it on autism, when you have people like that who are demonizing a bishop and demanding that she apologize for asking for mercy, you're on the wrong team, and both sides are not the same. So we'll keep putting in the work and we'll keep moving forward. But unfortunately, I'm afraid we're going to be reading more stories like that as we go forward because it's just become one giant train wreck. And I remember years ago seeing an interview with George Carlin where he said, I'm just a notebook guy. I'm just sitting back taking notes now. And I said to myself, well, George, if you're still here, you would need a whole pack of ink pens and a whole bunch of notebooks because you'd be writing your arm off for a long time.